All right, Amelia, joining us in studio will soon become, I think, to a lot of people, sort of a bit of a local hero. A man who I would imagine just a couple years older than me, but old enough to remember National Premium Beer. And Tim Miller is joining us. And Tim, very interesting story. I was reading the Wall Street Journal, saw an auction for trademarks, saw the name National Premium, and he thought, this can't be right. Is that name really, up? Sure enough, he goes up to New York.
Oh, you got to walk us through this story.
Well, let me ask you this. You walk in, I mean, I'm sure you would expect to have had some big beer guys in the room trying to get a hold of this, right?
Well, yeah, there were actually 150 trademarks up for sale that day.
Right.
And there was another beer called Meisterbrau.
I remember Meisterbrau.
Yeah,
sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So that one was available. But really, you didn't even know which mark you were trading on or bidding on. They just put them all up on the board. It was called a buyer's choice auction. So you just bid a number, and then you went up to the board and picked what you wanted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was wild. It was a crazy
So you could have ended up with something you didn't want at all.
Well, you
choose if you want to bid or not.
Yeah, you took your chances.
Yeah.
You just bid to a number you were comfortable with, go up to the board and say, I'll take that one.
Wow.
So, and then when someone took that one, then you'd start over again for what remained.
Absolutely.
So if somebody had taken premium before you, you're out of the auction.
Yeah. You didn't know what people were bidding on.
How many bids against you?
None.
Your first bid won.
Well, I was probably 20, 25 deep in the bidding.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you have this master plan all along? Like when you got the trademark, was this end goal is to put out National Premium as a beer, or you walked away from there not knowing what you were going to do?
I had this master plan all along. It had been in the work for about 8 years where I had this idea.
To bring it back?
Was it National Premium specifically or just any beer?
It was whatever I could get a hold of, hopefully.
Right.
But, when National Premium came available,
That was
Boom.
it.
Yeah, that's it.
done.
Now, Tim, and pardon me, what do you do for a living? I mean, what is your trade,
What's
so
your
to speak?
day job?
Real estate on the Eastern Shore.
So you do real estate development or
Yeah, sales.
sales? Okay.
Commercial, residential.
Right, gotcha. So you're in the real estate business. You've had this plan to basically bring back this premium beer. So now you got it. You're brewing it.
No, but he had
as we speak.
He had the trademark, but you didn't have the recipe.
No.
Oh, yeah. Tell us. Yeah. So now you got to go find a recipe.
Yeah, how the hell do you do? How do you find that?
From 1930 something.
Right. Well, when we bought it, all we got was the letters, National Premium. That's it.
Right.
There was a
What
domain
about the
name.
little logo guy?
Yep, got him too.
Look at see his shirt.
It's all under the trademark. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right. So, and that was it. So I just started researching the history of National Premium, going through it, and just started going online, talking to anybody I knew. Does anybody know a brewmaster, anybody associated with the company?
Right.
And just started pecking away. And honestly, I gave it a 50% chance of even finding the original
I can't believe
recipe.
you gave it that much. Right.
Yeah, right. So I'm sitting there in downtown Easton at my real estate office, and I start talking to a fella that I've played lacrosse with, known him through the lacrosse network, and I told him the whole story. He says, hey, let me call a friend of mine who's been in the beer business since we played lacrosse together at UMBC.
Yeah.
Guy calls me up. He says, all right, I want you to call this fella. He's a little bit unique. He's a neat fella. He was a brewer for National Brewing Company.
Oh, wow.
He's in his 70s.
Wow.
So I called this fella. We had a couple beers. He was a little guarded.
Yeah.
He realized that I was sincere. And he said, okay, I'm going to give you a number to call the master brewer who was with National. And the rest is history. He put it together for me with a couple of other brewers.
And the guy still had the recipe.
Yes.
Now, have
That's so
you
awesome.
tasted some of it yet?
I have.
Is it as good as you remember?
Better.
Really?
Right. Well, I'm 43, so
yeah, we're 43. Yeah.
So the product that we probably had wasn't this recipe.
Right.
The company was bought and sold, and they just watered it down.
Yeah.
But it's pretty unique.
It's a good beer.
I know my beer, and I can't think of anything like it. It's fresh, it's crisp, it's clean.
Is it more hoppy? You have more barley in it?
Little hop, but
Okay.
real dry finish, real clean.
All right.
It's,
Nice.
as we'd like to say off the record, it's a beer you can go the distance on.
Right. Yeah. I love it.
Now, when you finally got the recipe, how did you get it? Was it like written on some old like
Yes.
Papyrus.
In the industry, it's called a statement of process, and it goes through temperatures, times, ingredients. It's a sheet of paper.
Yeah, I mean, it's
so
a real
awesome.
brewing recipe.
Yeah.
When I walk
crazy.
into the brewery, it actually looks like I know what I'm talking about.
Now, so you went up to, I think, Delaware, right?
Correct.
Is where you're brewing.
Wait a minute.
Coastal Brewing?
Coastal, yes.
Yeah. So, easiest, I guess, tough to find a brewer here that could take the time or whatever to do it.
I talked to anybody and everybody I could with a brewery, and beer's popular. Everybody's at capacity.
Yeah.
Or if they had room, they didn't have the equipment we needed.
Right. Now, so when do you expect to be online?
We are going to package our first brew the 11th.
Of April?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in the tank right now. Once we're comfortable with that, it's a smaller brew. Once we're comfortable with that, we're going to flip the switch and really start cranking it out.
Now, are you releasing it in bottle, can, or keg first?
Bottles and kegs.
Bottles and kegs.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know your price point yet?
Not yet. It's going to be, not the most expensive 6-pack you can buy,
Right.
but not the cheapest either. It's
More than Budweiser.
a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
a premium.
Yeah.
It's a premium
It'll be
product.
comparable to the craft beer prices from other breweries in Maryland, I would assume.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, dude.
How much has word gotten out? Are you becoming like a local legend, celebrity in the making here?
I've received a few resumes.
Now, let me ask you this, Tim, honestly. If you're going to go and
go the distance.
if you're going to go the distance, to use your words, is this something that we're going to see much more marketing brought on by you guys? Are you really going to, in the area, go out, start sponsoring things? And you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
really get the word out.
Absolutely. Of course, we've really focused on the Facebook page.
Sure,
all
yeah.
All the information drops.
But when the
through
beer's
that.
on the streets, I mean, that's when you really got to crank it up and really get the word out.
Well, my question would be,
And
I know
getting
you're-
distributors to carry
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
I
we've
know
got
you-
distributors.
You're
Yeah.
going all the way up to Coastal Brewing, and you're having it done in Delaware. Are there plans, seeing how well it goes, to actually build a brewery here in Maryland and make it an honest-to-God Maryland beer?
Absolutely. I
If
don't
the
know-
demand's there, yeah.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, you
Yeah,
have
get
to
it on the
see,
street
right?
first,
Obviously.
right?
And go ahead, Tim.
I don't know if you guys saw, I was on the show American Pickers back in December.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, and they came down to a property that my family owns in Easton. It's on the water. It's an old industrial site.
I missed that one.
And the plan is to possibly turn
Right
that
there?
into a brewery.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What'd they get? What'd they take?
My family used to be in the oil business, and they bought a bunch of old signs
Yeah.
and petroleum.
Them guys know what they're doing,
Oh,
don't
they're
they?
cool.
Yeah, they're great guys.
So now National Premium, was like the big brother beer to
Natty
National Bohemian, right?
Yes. Yeah, this was Jerry Hoffberger's baby, the
Yeah.
fellow who used to own the Orioles.
Yeah.
He developed it, and it was a high-end beer. It was a craft beer. It was made in limited production,
Yep.
totally separate from all the other beers, its own tanks.
Well, because I was going to say, if it's any indication of how well Natty Bo is doing now,
Oh, yeah.
then you're going to be a millionaire.
I don't know.
Let's pray.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's not
Probably.
hurting now. He's a
Yeah.
real estate agent.
Yeah, in Easton.
Well, I've had a little extra time on my hands in real estate the
with
past
the
few
economy,
years. so
trust me, my
I just
wife
want-
Big
knows.
tracts of land out there.
So
I
you're
know
in
what's
you're
going
in
on.
Easton?
Correct, Talbot County.
I do shows down there twice a year at the Nightcat.
Sure.
You know where the Nightcat is?
Other end of the block from my office.
I forget when I'm there. I think in June or something. But
You should get sponsored everywhere you go. It's
we're gonna a minute.
national premium.
Slow down. I'm going to talk to him about the National Premium Comedy Tour.
Ah,
There it
very
is.
good.
Where I get
There it is.
I get an endorsement.
Yeah.
But this is a business meeting, not for radio.
Exactly.
But
Let's first work on
Just say no.
getting some of the beer up here.
yeah.
That's the first step.
Could we purchase 12 of them or something, a 12-pack?
Well, this first brew we're putting together is a promotional batch. So now that I finally found a place, I can get some sent up here with some T-shirts.
Oh, that would be
that's what we
awesome.
do.
Man.
We'll
Is that the
promote it.
T-shirt?
Yes,
I love that freaking T-shirt.
He's cool.
He's a little Mr. Peanutish.
Yeah.
It's sort of
Mr. Pilsner.
Mr. Pilsner.
Oh,
That's
very
where the
good.
Natty Bo guy was too, sort of. But he's
It's his
different.
fat cousin. I love it.
Yeah.
It's a fat cousin to Mr.
So
Peanut.
he is a higher, more classy Bohemian.
Yes, National Premium is technically a Bohemian Pilsner.
Yes.
That's the style of beer it is.
Yes. See, I know my Baltimore history. I don't know anything about beer, but I know my Baltimore history.
Nice.
Now, speaking of Baltimore history, there used to be a brewery as soon as you go through the tunnel, the Tuborg. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Is that still there?
No, I think it
Torn down and gone away?
Turned into a bread company, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say that's another
and the
place you
old
could
Colt
look into.
45 brewery, which I
That's
think
it.
now
Yeah.
is, is that what you're talking about?
Same
Okay.
place, yeah.
That's another brewer right now.
Oh, it is?
Carling bought
Right.
National
Yeah.
back in the 70s.
Yeah.
I think that was Carling's facility, and they pulled the brew facility from Canton out there.
Gotcha.
Okay.
What's your
Eventually.
best memory of National Premium Beer?
Yeah.
I got a couple, but certainly Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
Underage.
well,
Oh, man. Well, Tim Miller, we wish you the best of luck with National Premium. And as soon as you get the first couple promotional cases together, bring us up some. We'll do a big tasting. Maybe we can invite a listener or two up to come try it out.
Nah.
Nobody wants to share when we get free beer.
I didn't think so.
But we would love to taste it, and we would love to get the word out about it. And
absolutely, that's what we're trying to do, get that word out.
congratulations, seriously.
Thank you.
Tim, anything we can do to help, pal, just give us a call.
Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Congrats.